Unless you haven't been on YouTube in the last 3.5 weeks, then you already know that this is the Boss Katana Go personal headphone amplifier. And let me tell you, the hype is real. There are already a ton of videos out on it, and I know I'm late to the party. I'm not sponsored by Boss, so I didn't get it before anybody else. And by the time I tried to get around to buy one, they're all on back order. But I was lucky enough to find this on N Stuff Music out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check them out, nstuffmusic.com, and they said they had a few in stock ready to ship. I couldn't believe it, but I bought it anyway. And they confirmed the next day that they had some in stock. It was going out. I got it on Monday after Easter, and I've been loving it ever since. So if you're looking for something and it's back ordered on all the big shops, don't sleep on the little shops. Search around a little bit more and you might just get lucky like I did. Now this thing is compatible with Mark II patches. We'll talk about that a little bit more when I jump into the BTS patch. And it does just about everything that the Mark II amp does. A little bit less, a little bit more. Now it is comparable to the Fender Mustang and the new X Mighty Plug. I think that's what it's called. And you Bluetooth into it with your phone and you use the app to make all the adjustments. It's really easy. Now it is $120, which again, comparable to those other units. And sure, you got these cool little units that you can find on Amazon.com that are fun to play with, but you can't Bluetooth in and you got to use your computer. They're about 40 bucks and you get what you pay for. So, I thought that was going to bounce back and hit me in the head. So 120 bucks, it's well worth it. Plus it has a little cool LCD screen here, and I'll show you all that when we get up close and personal with it. Plus we're going to go through the BTS app, going to do some sound samples, and then I'll give you my closing thoughts on it. So this is the front of the unit. You got your master volume, you got a little LCD screen, and you have a little dot that goes around there. It's like a screensaver, because if it constantly had something up on that screen, the battery would go dead faster. So you have this part right here that rotates about 220 degrees. I don't like to turn that too much because I just have a feeling that's going to wear out sooner or later. On this side, you have your on-off switch, you got a Bluetooth button for connectivity, and you got your stage feel, and we'll talk more about stage feel when I jump into Tone Studio. And over here, you have a charging light. When it's red, it's time to charge it. When it's green, it's charged. When it's orange, it is charging. Over on this side, you have your multi-purpose button. You push it in, and you can use it as a tuner. When you push it in, tuner comes on. Push it up or push it down to cycle through your presets. And you got your A, B, and C button that you can cycle through each channel of each bank. See if I can get that in focus. So A, B, and C. Now up top here, you got your USB-C port and your headphone port. I haven't quite figured out how to record well without latency on the USB-C, but I'm going to figure it out sooner or later. I have from the headphone port and it sounded pretty good. Now I do want to say you have to keep in mind different headphones are going to sound different from each other. My Sennheisers are probably going to sound different from whatever you're using, and my PreSonus sound different from my Sennheisers, and they both sound different from earbuds. And earbuds sound perfectly fine through this if you got a good set of earbuds. If you got some cheap dollar store ones, they're not going to sound good for anything. You've seen the memes. So just keep that in mind when you start plugging in headphones in these and you start thinking that tones don't sound like they should. Because like an amp speaker, you put a different speaker in an amp and it is going to sound different. So keep that in mind. Let's jump into BTS. So let's go ahead and fire up Tone Studio for Katana Go. I'm not going to turn the unit on yet, but this is your Bluetooth setup screen. So I'm going to turn the unit on now. You can choose not to show this next time you do it. So I'm going to choose not to, and I'm going to hit connect. And you can barely see in the background right there, it can see the Katana Go and it's going to automatically try to connect. And here we are, it opens up to the editor. And in the editor, up top you see here, you got a write button, you got the tuner, you got the chain. So there's your chain, you can choose your chain. If you're editing, you want to write, you can write it or clear it. Here's your tuner. It goes from 435 to 445 Hertz. I wish it went a little lower than 435, but that's okay. Now by pressing the tuner button on the unit, it turns that on. And I just turned it off from the unit. So here you got your amplifier. You can choose your different amplifier, your variation, your gain, volume. Here's your equalizers, presence, cabinet resonance, and then your effects. And it lists all your effects. And to edit effects, you can click edit where you can edit. And you can go up here and cycle through if you want. Or if you just want to go back and edit what effects you have on, it's easier to just do that because you can see which effects you got on. Now up here, this is like your panel. You can choose your preset. You have 30 presets. You got 10 banks with 3 channels each, A, B, and C, just like I showed you on the close-up of it. Getting out of memory select, down at the bottom here, you have session. This is where you can import music from your library or paste a URL from YouTube or Rumble or wherever from, and then you can play along with it. Now, one thing you do need to keep in mind is you have to find the balance between the session volume and the preset volume, so that might take a little work. Over in Librarian, just like Katana Librarian, you can create a live set, you can download a live set, you can upload a live set, and each time you can upload or download from the Katana, a file, or the cloud. And here's all the presets I have. These presets are going to be available in a download link down in the description from my Google Drive. I have gone through and optimized each and every one of these tones for the Katana Go, because when they come over from Mark II, it seems like they lose some kind of tone somewhere. They're a little muffled, so I had to make some adjustments with the volume and the EQ. Over here you got the Boss Tone Exchange. Now, they have not integrated the regular Boss Tone Exchange user presets in just yet. They're supposed to do that in June of 2024, but they have some here that you can download. And lastly, you have your system screen, your Bluetooth settings. It'll pop up in here in just a second and show you the Bluetooth MIDI. There you go, Katana MIDI. That's what we connected to at the beginning. And here you got memory select mode. I find this screen to be useless and redundant because you can select from the unit itself or from the library or from the panel. So this is just an extra screen that really doesn't serve much of a purpose. Battery check. This is where you can check the status of your battery. I've only charged it twice. I have never opened it up as soon as I got done charging it, so I've never seen 3 across there. I've only seen 2 and 1. You got global EQ settings. This is where you can create a global EQ and turn it on or off. You only have one of these though. You don't have like a red, yellow, and green like you do on the Katana Mark II amps. Over here, this is one of the coolest things. It's the stage feel setting. Now you got it on custom. You can have it on off, mode 1, mode 2, or custom. When you put it on custom, you can make these adjustments here where your guitar position, you can make it sound like the guitar is like in front and to the left and the music is up to the right. This is cool when you're working with sessions because it puts it kind of in stereo. You got the session in one ear and your guitar in the other, and it's really cool. And you got stage and studio. You can pick whatever one you want. That's the ambience type. Stage is obviously sound like you're on stage, and studio sounds like a little tighter sound like you're on studio. And your ambience levels. Going back, you got your USB settings. This is for recording. I haven't played with this much yet, but this may be where I'm going wrong when I'm trying to record with USB. Down here you got your owner's manual. You can go to the download page, and there are different manuals for this thing. There's parameter manual and owner's manual, and they are slightly different. The parameters guide is a better option if you're looking to figure out how to use some of the different effects. So going back over here, you got your wireless pedal settings. If you got one of those cool wireless pedals, you can customize it from this screen and then show Bluetooth setup screen. That little box I checked at the beginning, it's going to show up again even though I chose not to. And then you have your software version screen, which like just goes on forever. I don't know what all this mumbo jumbo is. So let's go back over to Tone Exchange. If you want to download some of the presets they already have in the Tone Exchange, you can do that by simply selecting which one you want, and you can sample them, but you can't download each individual one. Just like the Boss Katana Tone Studio, you hit download and it'll download it to the library. So we go back over to the library, and there it is, Katana Go rock tones, and you have different rock tones to sample from. Now if you want to import a live set, you hit that import button right there, and you can import from the Katana, from file on your phone, or from the cloud. Now it's a specific file on your phone, it's not just any file. So you have to know where it's at, and I haven't found it yet. It's kind of weird. If you hit next, it'll go to the file, but it doesn't really show you where that file is. So if you wanted to upload something to there and then download it, you can't. So I'm going to hit cancel. But we're going to download something from the cloud. And we're going to go to Acoustic Katana Go. And we're going to download that, and now, bam, it's in there. It's that easy. Now if you want to export, you hit the export button. You can export to the Go, export to file, or export to the cloud. We're just going to choose cloud because it's the easiest one right now. Click cloud and hit next. You choose a live set you want to do, and I'm going to use this one because I don't have that one in my cloud. I don't want to have duplicates. And I'm going to hit export, and then it's going to ask me where I want to send it to. And I'm going to send it to my folder that I have in my OneDrive. And that's it. It's that simple. If you want to copy, and if you want to delete a live set, you hit edit and hit delete. And we're going to delete the rock tones right there, and I'm going to hit delete. And it's going to confirm yes, and it's deleted. Like I said, if you want to create a live set just like you would anywhere else. And then you can import tones from the Katana. I would suggest doing a factory backup, which is as easy as importing from Katana Go, and you want to hit next. Now this will do a factory backup. You do all backup, and that's all the tones that come with the Boss Katana. You hit next. You can either create a live set or select a live set. We're going to do neither because I've already got it done, and it will create a backup just like I have here, factory backup, and it has all 30 of the tones. Now, the tones that come with it are actually really good. One I really like is this ambient clean. It sounds really nice, and some other ones here as well. So that's the basic of Tone Studio Mobile for the Katana Go. Let's hear some samples. I'll do some factory samples, and I'll do some samples of my own tones. So here are my final thoughts on it. It's a fantastic product. I haven't found anything that I really don't like about it. Now, with the Katana Air EX, I had some problems with Bluetooth. And the only problem I had with Bluetooth with this was when I tried to switch from my phone to my tablet. And I think that might have been my problem with the Air EX too. But once I just forgot about the tablet and went straight to my phone and just used it on my phone, no problems whatsoever. Connects every time. Now, it is built well, but I would still be careful because it's plastic. It's not a toy. There's a lot of components with this thing. You drop it, you kick it, whatever, keep it dry. Don't misuse it. A lot of people misuse products and then they complain when it breaks. Sometimes it's your own fault. Now, one thing I will say, when you put this into a guitar, depending if it's on front, it sits well. But if it's on the side like that, gravity, I say it all the time, gravity is gonna do its thing. It's going to flop around. If you have to tighten up your jack, that's probably one of your best bets. But other than that, it sits well in there. So is it worth $120? Absolutely not. If you got to think, the closest thing that comes to this is the Waza Air headphones, and those are like $400, $500. I'm not sure the price these days. And if you use the Katana Mini, the little amp, it doesn't have all that stuff, but you can connect it to it. If you have one of these cables, you have a stereo out, because it does have a stereo headphone jack out. And a mono, you could plug that right into your Katana Mini and play it like that, or use a PA. It's that easy, but the Katana Mini is very limited, and this, you put on a pair of headphones, and it sounds fantastic. You can take it anywhere you go. It folds up nice. Let me show you how big it is. Compared to like a credit card, fold it up, it's smaller than a credit card, so you could put it in your pocket. They do sell a case for it. You put it in your gig bag, anywhere. Put it, if you got a headphone case, it might fit right in your headphone case. I don't know. But overall, I don't know what took Boss so long. Maybe they just wanted to get it right the first time, but they have hit it out of the park with this one. So if you haven't got one, I would get one on back order, because as of today, April 9th, they're still on back order. And I would imagine that the ones that are on back order now are already spoken for. So as soon as those come in, they're going to be sold quickly. I'm not going to post an affiliate link or anything like that. Just see if you can find one. It doesn't matter where. Find one. Because if you're a fan of the Katana Mark II, you're going to love this thing. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button for me. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button for me. And maybe one day, Boss will sponsor me. We'll see. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.